Hey guys, this is Manshark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, this is Europa Universalis IV, and this is Millennia in the Making, episode 222. We're currently playing as France as we click back to the political map mode. Yes, France, the great leader of the Holy Roman Empire. And we're going to go to war this episode, but let's look at our current war now, just to go over the war screen. So this is the Anatolian Succession War. It's run by Wallachia versus Crete. You can tell by the little stars, they're the war leader. Allied to Wallachia is Anatolia, Uz, and Thessalonica. Various stats here, of course. You can see here that Crete is actually fully blockaded. And that's driving their war exhaustion up, which is driving their war enthusiasm down. And we're currently at 27% in the war, their individual war scores and all that. And here you can see an accurate representation of the two forces. We are, of course, skewing the results out significantly. But let's not worry about that, because today we're going to war with Västergötland. Now, we need to declare war before moving our troops out of a territory. We can move our troops around in the HRE. We can't move them around in places who aren't the HRE without military access, as you can see. And we need to do that because if we declare war while they're out of our territory or out of somewhere where we have proper military access, they become what's known as exiled, which means they've got to come back and then go back. It's very irritating, and we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to look at, let's see, first of all we're going to reclaim our man from Georgia, so stop relationship improvement there, thank you. And that's because we need a diplomat to wage war. Okay, so let me see, going to invest in a cardinal, we'll just pump up that one. The issue that we're going to have is I believe that King Castamir Littlefinger here is going to die fairly quickly. Maybe. That's not actually an issue, you know, ignore that. But what I would like to do is make it so that the places that we have royal marriages with, we will also have alliances with. So that would be Patau and Bohemia. Specifically Bohemia, because I believe Bohemia would be quite helpful to us in the future. The only problem with that is that they're one shitty little province. Maybe we'll leave them alone. Who knows? And we do have some missions that we can undertake. We can have a royal marriage with Slavonia. That'll give us prestige and diplomatic points. Reclaim Welsh Brixen or improve relations with Auvergne. Prestige gains on both of those first two are so minor that we're going to have a royal marriage with Slavonia. And when our diplomat comes back, we'll just do it. Okay, the ruler of Gran has died. Without leaving a direct heir, they will join in a union with Modena unless we contest it. If we do contest it, we'll create a succession war over Gran. So Gran is... where? It's this one here on our border. I don't want it. That's honestly kind of pathetic, to be honest. It's a single province, and... why would I care? And where's Modena anyway? Down here. Which one is Modena? Down here. We could actually prosecute that war. Let's do it. Done. Okay, so we've gone to war with Modena. The old king of Gran willed that his throne should be passed on to Modena. However, we believe that the old king was not of sound mind, and that they should have the throne, we should have the throne of Gran. So we're going to get our 15,000 guys here and chuck them into Gran. But let's have a look at that actually. So we're at war with both Gran and Modena. That's because Gran is technically right now in a personal union. Here we are with Modena. So we're at war with Modena for Gran. That's fine. Because I got troops for that. And more importantly, I've got galleys which I'll just send around like that. Okay, so we got our guy back from Georgia. We also have a military access request from Brabant. We're going to accept that. That doesn't impede on our diplomatic relations, and it gives us a little bonus with that guy, so that's fine. Here's a battle. They're being led by Gerlach Ludwig. He's a pretty average general, 1 in all stats except siege. We have no leader. We are taking a terrain penalty for attacking them in woods, but I think we've got so much more in them. And here, now this is the really complicated fucking part. Europa Universalis takes a variety of factors into account: the terrain, crossing rivers, the generals, all that sort of stuff, and placement of troops. You can see here, little crosses, they mark infantry units. The little slashes mark cavalry, I believe. Yes, and you can see we've got a maximum width that will be improved as we upgrade our military technology, and we have 2 lines. Only the first line fights, unless the second line is artillery. We only have 3 units here, and we're defeating them fairly handily, and there's also morale, but the game will take all of those into consideration and then discard them in favor of massive dice rolls. Yeah, we've totally won that. And here's another little fight here. Got to be a little bit more careful with this one. Hold on. Okay, so we won our battle up here. Trondelag declared war on Norlag, and Prussia declared war on Ostgotland. Let's turn the speed down slightly. So now we're besieging Odenburg. We have slightly reduced morale. That will improve in time. This is a little bit different from a CK2 siege. A CK2 siege would just, as long as you had enough troops, it would progress. We're taking attrition because of a siege. They've got this many men at the siege. This is how many men we've got there. As long as we have more men than they do, we can progress the siege. Every X days, in this case every 29 days, we roll a dice, a 14-sided dice apparently, and then we subtract 2 from it, and the results are, well, depending on the results, if we get under 4, or 4 or under, nothing happens. 5 to 11, we get a little +1 here. On a 12, we get a little, I think it'll be another +1. And as they become better and better, you know, the odds of us actually taking the place would improve. We need at least a +6 to be able to take the place. We'll see how that rolls. Now, what we're going to do is detach enough units to execute the siege properly and then move the main unit out. That's because of the attrition, and the attrition is based on a percentage, so I don't want our dudes sitting there, you know, taking attrition. Simple. That's actually a pretty good general that they've got, so I'm hoping that we... yeah, sure, whatever. I'm hoping that they go away fairly quickly, and hopefully before the other army comes in. Okay, so the other army has come in and we're actually losing this battle. We could retreat, and we will retreat. Yeah, we're going to have to retreat, I feel. Okay, so off we go. We've lost 1.15 war score because of that. But, you know, we gained enough last time, but it was fine. And I'm going to send this army over here. I'm going to give this one a commander. So we're going to pay 50, and this is actually a really bad commander for our time. He's got 3 fire, 0 shock, 1 maneuver, 0 siege. He's terrible. So we're going to hire another one. It's honestly worse. But what we can do... we're going to select this guy as our leader. And we'll keep the other one on hand because he doesn't cost us anything. But it is moderately annoying. Okay, and you can see here these guys are retreating up to Munchen. Just because it's what they do. And these guys, I'll give them the other guy just in case. The maneuver may help out. The Medenan army does have low morale, so if I get in there, we may be able to get in on that. Oh, and unlike CK2, it will not tell us if we're actually crossing a river. In general, you should assume that you will be crossing a river. Even when there are no rivers, you should assume that you will be crossing a river. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Oh hey, and our guy's back, so we're going to declare war on Västergötland. Yeah, for Warsaw, because it's over here and it'll be fairly easy for us to take. Should I? No, our current monarch is actually really good, so I'm not going to send him off to war. Okay, off you go, buddy. And you as well. And you know what? You free. And this one can actually go up here. We're just being careful with some of our movements. Because I'm not sure who Västergötland is going to be able to pull into the war. Okay, apparently these guys have decided that now they're exiled for some reason. That's supremely annoying, and it shouldn't have actually happened. I know why it's happened. It's because we've declared war while they were in another place. But it's kind of stupid that that's actually happened. Okay, so the King of Bosnia died, and we are now in a personal union with them, so great. And it looks like Västergötland pulled in everybody, including Brandenburg, so we'll deal with that momentarily. Okay, and here on the siege, we appear to have gotten one bit of siege progression at some point. So that's good. That's fine. It's improved our chances somewhat. We can't do much to influence that at this stage in time. When we get artillery, it will get a little bit better. Okay, so these guys, I'm actually going to have them attack Brandenburg itself. Just because that'll be easier. We can peace out separately with these people. Say we come here and we're like, hey, you know, we should, you know, not be at war. We're not particularly keen on that just because, well, the war's only just started. So we can't even just concede defeat and send them out, sort of thing. Oh, however, we can check on a few things after we get our diplomat back next month. And that will be interesting when we can. Okay, so the 18th of July we'll have a fight. There's our fight, and we've got a military access thing from Sirabatot, so sure, whatever. Okay, this battle. I feel like it should go well for us. Now, there are two phases to a battle, fire and shock. Fire is useless at the moment because nobody actually has any guns. I mean, they still fight in it, but you know. And of course, we crossed a river. I felt good about this one. I think we've won it. Oh, that's rough. Lower Lorraine declared war on Aragon. Sure, whatever. Yeah, we must just win that one. Come on. Okay, and then we're sending these guys up into Potsdam. These guys over to Altmark. These guys can actually... Okay, so a bit of Brandenburg up there as well, huh? Interesting. We'll have to just check on it. I don't normally do what's called carpet sieging. carpet sieging actually irritates the fuck out of me when it happens. So we're going to see some losses, but, you know, deal with it, basically. The key is, though, that we have not seen an army here. We have not seen an army here yet. Which is good. God, I hope we actually win that battle. And we've won it, so we've gotten 5 prestige, 0.7 army tradition, and a little bit of war exhaustion. Great! Oh hey, they called in some of their allies as well. And Connor... And who else? Suzo. Huh. Oh well, whatever. Where are they fleeing to? Muden. So we chase them down because we want to get them and destroy them. Oh, and also we're blockading Muden 100%. Good. So you can see we only have 0.07 war score. Oh, war exhaustion, sorry. And that's the effects that it's giving to us. Nothing major. Modena already has 2.08% war score. Or points of war score. That's significantly affecting them. And in fact, some of their little buddies, well, they're still at high war enthusiasm, so that's great for them. But, you know, we'll see how that goes. We're actually going to move those guys up a little bit further. Probably into Mecklenburg. Upland declared war on Norland. Okay, let's just have a little look at this. So, if we come here to the peace offer screen, you can see our war score here. Great. This is us demanding victory. This would be us going for peace. So, we've got a lot of options here. We don't just say yes with one, give us what we asked for. That's not how this works. These are all the cores that we could ask for. Or all the provinces that we could ask for from Västergötland. None of those give us any of what's called overextension because we already have cores on them. That's the reason why our prestige is going to be terrible. These are the war score that we would need. See, if we hit that, it says you need at least this war score, sort of thing. That's cool. There's revoke cores, we don't have to worry about that. There's return cores, which is you give land to somebody else. There's release nations, so release the Livonian Order, for example, or release Plock, or release farmland. You know, little things like that. It's kind of neat. So release Plock and they'd lose all of that. Okay, this is what we actually wanted to happen here, the French vassal. That will not happen because that requires 116% war score. So what we will probably do is get them to release Plock, Varmland, or release Plock and the Livonian Order. And, well, to be fair, we can look at it here. Where are we? 116. We only need to take 16% off them. So we can get them to release Varmland and the Livonian Order, and then they'd be fine, or just release Plock, and then we'd come at them later. See, if we save that and then come here, that's still going to be 116% for reasons. There's a lot of things we could do here. We may just take some of these places. I mean, it'd be good, wouldn't it? Okay, our siege here is going alright. We've got 2 points from it. So, we've actually managed to get the potential of having a water shortage, which is a +2 on our part. If we ever roll a 14, then we get walls breached, which is an immediate 14, or a +3, which is great, you know. Okay, this army's ready to go again. We are taking some losses in terms of, you know, stuff, he says, totally authoritatively. Let's head on over here. The good thing about these people asking their allies to come in is that we can sort of, you know, basically tell them to, you know, quit being a little bitch. We can enforce peace in this little war here against Crete. We can't take Crete because we don't occupy it, but we can ask them to concede defeat or, you know, become a Wallachian vassal. we can't enforce too much in this war because we ourselves have a 0% war score. So whatever. Here's a fight against an almost already broken foe. We are of course taking a river crossing penalty. Okay, so we killed them, they're fleeing. It'll take them 3 days to flee, so we're going to chase. We won, and we did what's called stack wiping. We killed every single guy there, and that's because we hit them when they were at such a low morale. Now, I'm a little concerned about Ancona here, so I'm going to actually send this army down here to Ancona. While I show army, detach a siege unit, head over here. Yes, I don't think they've got any... Yes, our foes have no troops. They've got ships, but no troops. That's great. That's really good, actually, because we're about to carpet siege, which means we're going to put troops in every single one of our provinces. They're not going to be able to come at us after that. Okay, so we've got some Brandenburg forces moving around. Let's try and clean them up. Whoops. That's the move I wanted to do. These guys detach a siege unit. Move on. These guys need to detach a... No? What are you doing? Combine. Detach siege. Go to Wisna. Okay, there's a Samnitan army. Right, the Smitans. We're at war with the Smitans. Head down in here. Oh, hey, and we could invest in the Cardinal, so we better kind of do that. I always like to be at least 5 ahead of somebody else. They're going to move out in time. That's alright. Let's see, will they stop their move like they do in CK? Yep, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think the war in the south is going to be any sort of issue for us at any point in time. Yep, we want a little war up here, or a little battle. Give me the army. Detach and move over. Quick battle, quick win. That army is actually going to escape. It's fine. Detach siege. Chase them. We're not going to catch them, so I'm not going to bother chasing them. Now, Shalland are allied with us at somewhere, probably just because we're the HRE. But, you know, that's fine. Now, of course, demanding that somebody become our vassal would mean that our diplomatic relations would go up. Like, you know, it would take another one of those. So we don't particularly want to do that too often. Of course, when it comes to, you know, members of the HRE, or, you know, the... What do you call them? The guys. Think, subby, think. The electors. When it comes to them, then you've got to, you know, deal with it. Okay, so I'm going to also detach a siege there and have these guys move up. Yes, now, we see here, this one has a minus 70% on it, whereas everywhere else normally had minus 49. Why is that? Because it's a coastal province which is not blockaded. Minus 2. Not much we can do about that, but we can still progress. So that's fine. Yeah, detach. And off we go. We formed a personal reunion with Apulia, so the problem that we may have here is that these places are going to keep on forming personal unions with us. Where is Apulia? Really? This one down here, is it? I mean, that's cool and all, but yeah. I don't think we can actually tell them to fuck off. Which is annoying. We're going to have to start getting rid of other things, which will cost us some stability, but that's fine. Oh, and because of all of our battles, we're actually at 100 prestige, so that may be something that we do. If we're just constantly at war, our prestige should be pretty epic. Okay, you can detach a siege regiment, and off you go. So that's one reason why we moved our blockade around here, even though they are taking attrition from being here, which is a little annoying. It's because that enables these places to actually siege properly. Somewhat properly, anyway. Okay. Who's asking for military access? Moravia. Sure, whatever, bro. Okay, I'm gonna take my guy out of Tigress and send somebody over to Georgia to improve relations, because they've only just popped out. And who are they actually going with? Trebizond. Eh, that's alright. As long as they're all voting for different people, I don't give a fuck. Alright. Yeah, so you can see here, this place isn't blockaded, so it's going to take a bit longer. That's not too much of a concern for me. Come on, roll well, roll well. Yes, that was perfect. That was very good. Still don't have a chance to get it, but you know, it's there. Oh, hello. This is the problem with carpet sieging. We've got an army coming in who will probably attempt to clean most of our shit up, so I'm going to try and move out before they get here. I'm going to fail on at least one front. That's fine. This army needs to come back down. Yeah, that's annoying, but there's nothing I can really do about that. Oh, except they've decided to move out. The problem here, of course, is that means that all of our sieges are gone. Irritating, I know. Move a big army over there. Yeah, and see here again, the same thing's happening. Samaitan have moved their army down, so I'll just move this one in up there. They'll get there in 10 days. Hopefully our army can hold. Because Samaitan is totally sieged, I want to say. Where's diplomatic map mode? Yeah, totally sieged. So I'm going to get these guys to detach a siege regiment and head up here. Okay, these guys are moving back to Brandenburg on the 19th. So I'm telling these guys to move down to Potsdam. So I'm wondering where these guys are going to try moving after the 19th. That is one terrible commander. And that should swing the balance in our favour. How are we doing down here? Yep, everything is good. Let's just detach a siege regiment from those guys, just to save ourselves a little bit of effort. Great. I'm just going to combine those guys. You should probably have a leader. Again, there we are. He's moving up into Mecklenburg, so let's see if we can intercept him. We totally can, so we will. Now I'll detach the siege off these guys and send them up to 26, 26, 28. Stop moving for a day, and then everything is even better. Yeah, victory there. We are going to chase them, of course. They're moving to Podlachi. So let's chase them down. Always, always, always chase stacks. Okay, there's the fight. We are taking terrain and a river crossing penalty. Okay, we won the battle back down there, so I'll just send these guys back over to continue sieging. Okay, that's good. Detach siege and head up to Jumpland. Okay, we totally destroyed them. Wonderful. So now I'm going to try and take down this army here, which is moving into Niederschlaus. I'll wait for them to actually move into there. Because we should have completely occupied, or well, we should have complete sieges over all of Brandenburg, from what I can tell. Let's see. Diplomatic. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that's the only area there. There's more up here, of course, but we'll just have to deal with those as they come. Hopefully they don't have enough ships to move many troops down. Okay, you can see here that our troops are not actually progressing the war score, or the war thing, because there's not enough of them. They'll reinforce, though. Ah, and right here, wall's breached. Very good. Of course, down here we're going even better. We actually have a chance to win. We've formed a personal union with Smolensk. This is going to get irritating. Because we can't tell them to fuck off. I wish we could, because this is going to eat into our diplomatic relations quite a lot. How are we doing here anyway? Ah, good, they're voting for us again. Perfect. This guy's moving to Newmark. 1, 2, 3. Off we go. We won't intercept them, but we can, you know, chase them around a bit. It's a big army there. When are you moving out? The 22nd. Yeah, we can't intercept. But we're going to need to defeat them in some fashion. The big thing will be when we actually get control of Warsaw. And you can see here, Modena is actually at low war enthusiasm. And that's because of their war exhaustion and because we're actually besieging all of their shit. So we may be able to get them to peace out at some point without really doing much. Hopefully, we'll see. Why did you move all the way to there? Just go to block, guys. Unfortunately, a lot of these sieges are just wastes of time and just us occupying land because of the blockade thing, and I'm not sending ships all the way around there. They'll take so much attrition just to do that. They're already taking a lot. I mean, 9%. It's insane. We could ask Pisa for fleet rights. They would not give it, of course. So we just saw a water shortage happen, so that was a lot of percentages coming towards us. What I'm actually going to do is send the ships home. Send them home to refit. It does mean that we lose out on a bit of percentage point there, but it's not too big a deal. I don't think it is anyway. So the issue with these diplomatic relations, with these unions, are that they're giving us unions with shitty little places that don't matter. And the problem there is that they're taking up slots. It's actually quite irritating. Okay, where are these guys even going? Take the general off these guys. Give it to these guys. I may have to abandon this siege just to try and take out this army. Ah. And now we run into the second problem with things. Infantry support. We need to mix a number of infantry with cavalry. That has not happened in some cases because we've been detaching for sieges. It shouldn't be too much of an issue when it comes to, like, you know, a single regiment that will fight, but, you know, it's something that we need to be wary of, particularly in larger contests. And you can see here this has actually happened for these guys. That's irritating. It's a lot of micromanagement that I don't particularly care for. I'm actually going to move this army all the way back. I don't care about sieging up that place. It's not the war goal. Ah, good. So we did meet it, and you can see here we are taking a 25% military tactics penalty. We'll still win. But yeah, it's something you've got to be wary of. Okay, so we won that, and off they go, back home. This is depleting our manpower, of course. We've already lost like 15,000 or so because of all these wars, but you know what? I think it's manageable. Okay, we've actually hit the maximum amount of siege progress that we can. So we're just waiting for this to happen. We could assault, but assaulting is stupid. Okay, we've got a new cardinal. He's loyal to Millennia, so Millennia have even more influence now. Fucking absurd. I think these guys are sending an army around the Gulf of Finland. Which could be fairly irritating, actually, so this army here, I'm going to send it up to help out. Really like to control this place. That'd be wonderful if we could just get that. No, so even though we had a water shortage, it didn't have any effect on the progression. Okay, so our ships are in dock and they're currently repairing. That's great. When they're fully repaired, I'll send them back around. So yeah, at the moment it's kind of a bunch of waiting and just seeing what happens with other people. Dauphine declared war on Susa. That's fine. They can't actually do anything about that because I occupy the whole place. Okay, so this is good. Bohemia's ruler died, so that ended our royal marriage with him. So now we're only down to 8 of 7 diplomatic relations instead of 9 of 7. So technically a good thing for us. Normally it's not, but hey. And hopefully, if we're lucky, Patau's royal marriage will go if Patau goes ahead and dies or something. Because honestly, I don't give a shit about the Tau. They don't have a legal heir, so if he dies, which he may, he's 64 years old. You know, we'll see. We'll see. It could also, you know, give us a personal union or something like that. Who knows? Suza entered into a military alliance. Novgorod declared war on Norland. Very basic sort of stuff happening. Okay, we finally won the Siege of Odenburg. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So, yes, occupied by me. And we can see here, we'll get a ticking war score, and it's giving us a percentage as well. Move our troops out. And actually, as an infantry unit, I'm going to send them up here, where they will be useful. So 18%, we could probably, yeah, see, we could take Odenburg and they'd be fine with that. But that's not all that we're going to do, is it? No. Not in the slightest. And we're obviously not going to enforce a union or anything like that, because that's weird. We're not going to go for a vassal, we're not going to force that to happen. Just because, what's the point? Right? Like, what is the point? Also, because it impinges on our stuff up top. We're going to save this papal influence and not spend it. Things are going well. You guys fully refitted? Yes, you are, so round they come. Although, I may have them sit off Ancona for a little bit. Finland declared war on Karelia, that's fine. Okay, so now we're blockading Ancona. And that'll help out get their war enthusiasm down. And we may be able to peace out separately with them. Our free trade policies are forcing our merchants to become more innovative. One in particular looks like he could become a great man. So what that does is that's given us an extra trader. This guy here, probably. Or this guy here. One of them. It's not too much of a deal. Whatever. Okay, so there's that army. Where are they going? Semigalia. So they're headed in there. Okay, so that will be the quickest way. They'll get there on the 23rd, so maybe we'll be able to prevent them from making their move. We'll get there on the 29th. I'm going to unify these two armies, which breaks the siege, yes, but it may work out for us. Yeah, okay, so they've stopped their movement and they're going to head into Kuan on the 3rd. We may be able to get there to stop that. Okay, so we'll get there on the 8th, so that may stop them. It has stopped them. I don't want to attack them over there. Because that is definitely a river crossing. And are they led by anyone? Yes, they're led by an army, a general with 2 shock. We don't have anything like that. So we're just going to stay away from here. No drama. How's the Crete war going? Eh. Bad as expected, really. Crete should be ready to peace out at almost any moment. They will just let me go in a white peace if they wanted to. They wouldn't concede defeat because we need at least 10 war score to make demands of them. Fortunately, Wallachia should make those demands quite soon. We've got some revolt risk happening in Odenburg. Right, so that's only because it's an occupied territory. That's fine. Not concerned. Okay, these guys are heading back down to Kuan. So we'll just try and stop them from making these silly moves. Okay, Lauenburg is over. Ah, this one here. Cool. So that should give us some war score against Brandenburg. 9 specifically. That's great. I'm just going to keep them there because they're not taking attrition. So they should be fine. Right, so these guys are moving to Wenden. Why are they moving to Wenden? Then Vilna. Okay, so they may be... Ah, okay, I see what they're doing. They're actually trying to move around. We're going to try and intercept them in Vilna if we can. Won the Siege of Medan. Ah, perfect. So that's going to give us a lot of war score over Modena. In fact, 98. It doesn't give it there, but we've got 98 over them if we have it, if we have to use it. We're going to try and fully occupy everything here, just, you know, really grind people into the dust. Because, well, why not? Okay, but this army up here is going to concern me for a little bit. Just going to wait for 2 days. There we go. Now we move in. They're moving out of the 7th. We're getting there on the 8th, so that's irritating. We'll try and head down into Traken. They may continue their move. Okay, 12th and 11th. This may be good for us. Yep, okay, so we've got an interception. And... what am I going to do with this army? These two here combine, that's fine. We're not going to join them up. We're going to just see how we go. Okay, so I've got the same discipline, I've got slightly higher morale, and the tactics are the same. We don't have a weird imbalance. We've won the Siege of Quan. Great! You guys can head in as well then. Just in case. Oh, we've won this though. Beautiful, and then, where are they going? Quan, chase them down. Always chase. That being said, the AI will also chase on you, and it will be very irritating because they'll stack wipe you as well. Let's head on over to Skane. Yeah, so that's the only issue with, okay, they're actually retreating fully. Ah, right. They're retreating all the way back to Västergötland. Presumably to Västergötland itself. I don't know if they'll regain morale in the meantime, but, you know, whatever. So I'm not going to chase them all the way, because I've already got armies up there. Yep, so war does take a fair bit of time in the early stages of the game. Okay, Paphlagonia, my faithful ally, because they're part of a HRE, I assume. They would like our assistance against Armeniacon, who is also part of HRE, so sort it out yourselves. So yeah, these two places are at war. That's fine. It's alright. Whatever, man. Yeah, so as long as they have this little white flag on them, we can't do anything with them. But, you know what? Whatever. Brandenburg should fall fairly quickly, to be honest. And what can we do with Brandenburg? We can't make them a vassal, they've got way too much stuff. But we can get some of their shit, like Lübeck. Lübeck is actually a really important province because it's part of the Lübeck trade node. See, there we go. I'm not too sure what I'll ask from them. I may just get them to release a bunch of nations. Toulouse declared war on Provence. Are we allied with Provence? No, it was Patau. Of course. We have gained the Imperial Liberation Casus Belli against Pest. Is Pest not part of the HRA? Okay, they are. So we've got Imperial Liberation. They've annexed an Imperial Principality. Pest, Bex, or Tarantal. That's weird. That shouldn't have happened. Because they're part of the HRE. Right? Yeah, part of the Holy Roman Empire. Interesting. So let's have a look at the difference between Reconquest and the Imperial Liberation. So Reconquest, 25% aggressive expansion, 100% prestige, 100% diplo power, and 75% cost for full annexation and the conquest of various provinces. Imperial Liberation is 100% aggressive expansion, 200% prestige, 100% diplomatic power, and 75% cost for conquest, core return, and liberations. Interesting. And Tigress would totally help us out there. Oh well, we'll see about that in a bit, because we're totally annexing Oldenburg. And the more land we get, the better. Okay, let's see. You guys can go up there, you guys can go up there. Because I'm fairly sure these guys are retreating to Västergötland itself. So I want to have an army ready for them when they get there. Okay, we've successfully besieged Rupen. So that's great. So we're currently at 20% war score with Brandenburg. The only restriction on what you can take without a full annexation is you can't take their capital. But what I'm thinking is we could release Lübeck as a nation. We obviously can't do both Lübeck and Altmark, sorry. You can't exceed 100% or they get a minus 1000 modifier against the war. Speaking of the war though, Smyton, except for this province up here, is occupied. So what can we do for you in the meantime? I don't want to make them a French vassal because that's just dumb. We get them to release Bamberg up there. Or return Agder to Vesterland. That might actually be the smarter of the decisions. Yeah, that's all I'll do with them. I just want them to return that land. That will give us free prestige. It will cost us 50 diplomatic power. Oh, really? going to cost us diplomatic power. Whereas releasing it as Bamberg would only cost us 25 but take no prestige. And Bamberg will get owned by somebody else fairly soon. We could just ask them to transfer trade power. We're not at that percentage yet though. Honestly, I don't think they have anywhere that I would care about for that. You can ask them to annul some of their stuff, so you don't just say, hey. Actually, yeah, the annulment is easier because we can just say annul everything. That'll get us 12 prestige. That's excellent. And there's really nothing else that I care too much about. If we get him to 100%, we get him to do that and transfer trade power, which is worth an extra 2 prestige. No, I'm fine with that. So we send our diplomat over. Okay. Louis XI benefited from the outcome of the 100-Year War. The virtual destruction of the feudal nobility enabled him to unite France more solidly under the royal authority and to promote an ally with the middle class. 1 stability, 50 administrative power, just being France. And this war here is over. Great. Siege of Altmark is over, and Trondelag enters into something. Okay, that's good. So we're currently at 36 against Brandenburg, 55 against Västergötland. Okay, and the rest of them are going just fine. Iraq is asking us to join in their war against Kermanshah, but Kermanshah is also part of HRE, so don't give a fuck. You know what? It's really close to the end of the episode, isn't it? So let's just see how this particular siege timer goes. Oh well, did alright. And let's wait this one out as well, why not? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so where's that army? They're still coming back. Let's let them come back and then we'll end the episode just to see what they do, because I think they're going to land in Västergötland. And I mean, we won't stack wipe them when they do because they've got full morale. Actually, they're coming to Halland, aren't they? But are they retreating through Halland? Yes. Yes, they are, so they are coming to Västergötland. It should be an easy victory for us. Where the fuck are they going now? Wormland. Well, let's chase them. Won the Siege of Ancona. Right, so that's actually given us 100% against Ancona. Yeah, Baden, you're cool. So let's make a peace offer with these guys. 100% we could fully annex them. Well, that would give us 2 prestige, cost us 50 diplomacy, and have the following negative effects on places. Or we could make them a vassal, make them concede defeat, that would give us 10 prestige. Ask them to annul some alliances. I'm actually going to have them. So Ancona is now part of our realm. They are Italian, so that is an issue. But it means that we can move our troops out. I'm going to send these boats around here though. Okay, so let's just combine up some of these armies. And then we'll call it a day. Or an episode anyway. So yeah, if you've got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Get to them as soon as possible, as usual. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like. And if you would like to see more, well, please go ahead and subscribe. In the meantime though, I've been Sub. You have been yourselves. Later.